On May 30, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet announced that the country would begin construction on a $1.7 billion canal in August. He stated that most of the investment for the project would come from Cambodia, with partial funding and technical expertise provided by Chinese companies. He emphasized that, regardless of the circumstances, Cambodians would push forward with the project for the benefit of future generations. Most of the workforce would be Cambodian, but negotiations with Chinese companies were already underway to secure technical and financial support. The upcoming Decho Funan Canal, which will connect the coastal port of Kep to the port of Phnom Penh, will span 180 kilometers, cross 4 provinces, and cover a population of 1.6 million people. However, as the project progresses, various opinions have emerged. Some media have subtly criticized Cambodia for potentially falling into a debt trap with China. Other reports suggest that the Decho Funan Canal project has raised concerns in neighboring Vietnam, which fears that the canal could be used by Chinese warships and reduce Cambodia's reliance on Vietnamese ports. Some countries have also called for increased transparency from Cambodia regarding the project, due to concerns about regional water resource management. Are these concerns valid? I will share my thoughts on this and welcome your comments below. In fact, Cambodia has been aware of these comments for some time. Hun Manet has responded by emphasizing that the canal will promote economic development, will not affect the main flow of the Mekong River, and will not serve as a military base. Regarding the so-called debt trap, the Cambodian Prime Minister publicly stated that the money for the canal construction is earned jointly by China and Cambodia. He has also frequently countered similar claims on social media, asserting that both Cambodia and Vietnam, as well as China and Vietnam, are good cooperative partners. Additionally, the Cambodian constitution does not allow foreign military bases on its soil. According to the Nikkei Asia report, Cambodian Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chanthol recently stated at a forum in Tokyo that concerns about the Decho Funan Canal project are baseless. He believes that the canal's construction will help reduce the risk of flash floods in both Cambodia and Vietnam, shorten transportation distances, and reduce carbon emissions. The construction of a canal within a country's borders is a sovereign decision and should not be subject to external interference. We should not worry on behalf of other countries or view the project through a politically biased lens. The excavation of the Decho Funan Canal is driven by Cambodia's own economic development needs. Currently, Cambodia's access to maritime routes is not very smooth, and its logistical capabilities are significantly limited. If the canal can be successfully opened, it will greatly enhance the country's logistical efficiency and promote economic development. Cambodia's economic prosperity will also benefit neighboring countries like Vietnam. As mentioned earlier, constructing such a canal will likely require Chinese technology. On June 4, the news that former Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin is set to become the Chinese ambassador to Cambodia garnered attention. Ambassador Wang's term will coincide with the start of this canal project, leading to speculation about whether he has a significant role to play in this development. This remains to be seen, and we can only wait for more information to emerge before making further analyses. However, one thing is clear: there are certain countries that may not be pleased with the excavation of the Decho Funan Canal. Why is that? Let's take a closer look. The Mekong River is a significant international river in the Indochina Peninsula, stretching nearly 4,909 kilometers, known as the Lansong River in China. It flows through 6 countries: China, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, and is considered the mother river of the Indochina Peninsula. It ultimately branches into 9 distributaries, known as the Q Long or 9 Dragons in Vietnam, merging into the southern Mekong. Among all the countries in the Mekong Basin, Vietnam has the shortest segment of the river, only about 230 kilometers, but it is the most fertile. This fertile land, which belonged to Cambodia before the 18th century, was later seized by Vietnam. After World War II, amidst the global wave of decolonization, France could no longer maintain its colonial rule in Southeast Asia's Indochina Peninsula. Cambodia repeatedly requested France to return the Mekong Delta to them, but France refused. To appease Cambodia, France adjusted the border between Vietnam and Cambodia along the Mekong River in the 1870s, granting Cambodia several hundred square kilometers of land as compensation, which accounted for less than 5% of the total area of the delta. This adjustment laid the foundation for the modern Vietnam-Cambodia border. Cambodia has always been dissatisfied with the ownership of the Mekong Delta. At the time of its independence, Cambodia had a population of less than 5 million, while neighboring South Vietnam had over 16 million people. Cambodia did not have the strength to reclaim the Mekong Delta. In 1957, South Vietnam, with the support of the United States, implemented the Mekong Delta Development Plan. South Vietnam used loans from the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank to adopt Dutch dike technology to reclaim the Mekong Delta. The cultivated land area exceeded 2.7 million hectares, producing 80% of South Vietnam's food. The capital of South Vietnam, Saigon, was also located in the Mekong Delta. After the Vietnam War broke out, the importance of the delta to South Vietnam further increased. Losing the Mekong Delta had a significant impact on Cambodia as well. Cambodia retained 435 kilometers of coastline but lacked deep-water ports and port facilities. In 1950, Cambodia began preparations to build the port of Sihanoukville, formerly Kampong Som, which had good natural conditions. However, as the main commercial hub of Cambodia, Phnom Penh, the capital, was located inland. Phnom Penh and Sihanoukville were separated by the Cardamom Mountains, and there was no well-developed road connection. Sihanoukville also lacked modern port facilities. With domestic ports unable to fulfill the needs, Cambodia turned its attention to neighboring countries. The nearest ports at the mouth of the Mekong River in Vietnam became Cambodia's choice. A road from Phnom Penh to Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, had been built during the French colonial period, with a length of 240 kilometers. After independence, this road was moderately expanded, but its condition, the vehicles, and the costs could not meet Cambodia's requirements. Phnom Penh is situated on the banks of the Mekong River, making river transport to the sea the most cost-effective way for Cambodia to export goods. However, due to historical reasons, all 9 outlets of the Mekong River were in Vietnam. Cambodia had to pay transit fees to Vietnam to export its goods, further squeezing the development space of Cambodian ports. To coordinate the allocation of interests in the Mekong River Basin, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and South Vietnam established the Mekong River Basin Coordination Committee in 1957, headquartered in Bangkok, with the aim of formulating joint water resource development plans and promoting industries such as river transport. However, these measures did not alleviate Cambodia's access to the sea dilemma. The South Vietnamese government imposed high transit fees on Cambodia, and in 1970, the United States secretly supported the pro-American Prime Minister Lon Nol to stage a coup and overthrow Norodom Sihanouk, establishing a republic in Cambodia, forcing Sihanouk into exile. At that time, Cambodia's economy was in decline, further deepening the realization of the importance of having its own seaports. Only by doing so could Cambodia break free from dependence on Vietnam for exports. Vietnam was well aware of Cambodia's intentions and knew that Cambodia was in financial straits. The only port, Sihanoukville, formerly Kampong Som, was small and severely lacking in supporting facilities. Cambodia attempted to develop Sihanoukville through cooperation, aiming to make it the gateway for Cambodia's international trade. Sihanoukville attracted a large amount of foreign capital and personnel, but due to a lack of management experience and planning, as well as its inability to connect with the Mekong River transport, coupled with the complex sources of foreign personnel and capital, Sihanoukville did not develop into Cambodia's international window. Instead, it became a hotbed of telecom fraud. Cambodia realized that it needed a river transport channel entirely under its own control, connecting the Mekong River, Phnom Penh, and Cambodia's own seaport. Against this backdrop, the plan to connect Cambodia's coast with the Mekong River through a canal became Cambodia's new construction goal. In the 21st century, Cambodia continued to strengthen economic cooperation with Vietnam. In 2010, the trade volume between Vietnam and Cambodia was $2.3 billion. In the same year, Vietnam and Cambodia signed the Mekong Waterway Transport Agreement, allowing Cambodian goods to reach Vietnamese ports with faster customs clearance. Since then, about 2 million tons of goods have been transported annually through Vietnam, making it the largest international cargo cooperation in the Mekong River basin. In 2015, the bilateral trade volume between Vietnam and Cambodia exceeded $6.5 billion, much of which came from Mekong River shipping. Vietnam also received millions of dollars annually in transit fees from Cambodia. As of 2023, Vietnam's GDP reached $410 billion, with a per capita GDP of $4,200. In comparison, Cambodia's GDP was $30 billion, with a per capita GDP of $1,800. Vietnam is Cambodia's third largest export market, while Cambodia ranks as Vietnam's 16th largest export market, highlighting the significant economic disparity between the two nations. Cambodia, despite its smaller size and weaker economic power, is determined not to become a pawn of the regional powers. Building the canal is a crucial step for Cambodia to reduce its reliance on Vietnam. As Cambodia's representative to ASEAN, Naro, stated, "We have no negative feelings towards Vietnam, but we do not like living under constant pressure." In May 2023, Cambodia announced plans to cooperate with China under the Belt and Road Initiative to complete the Decho Funan Canal, which will connect Phnom Penh to the sea within 5 years. In October of the same year, Cambodia signed a project framework agreement with China Road and Bridge Corporation. The project is expected to cost $1.7 billion and span 180 kilometers, capable of accommodating cargo ships of up to 3,000 tons. The main infrastructure includes 3 canal navigation stations and 11 bridges. The canal will start from the Basak River, a tributary of the Mekong River in Phnom Penh, and end at the southern port of Kampot in Cambodia, impacting a population of 1.6 million along its route. Vietnam has consistently questioned Cambodia's plan to build the canal, stating that it would severely disrupt the existing Mekong River network, leading to issues such as seawater backflow on the Vietnamese side. Vietnamese media have also subtly criticized Cambodia for potentially falling into China's debt trap. It's important to note that while the Mekong Delta only covers 12% of Vietnam's area, it houses 21% of the population and produces 50% of the country's rice and 70% of its seafood. Mekong River transport also accounts for 95% of Vietnam's rice exports. What the Vietnamese haven't explicitly mentioned is that once the Decho Funan Canal is completed, Vietnam will no longer be able to collect significant transit fees from Cambodian goods each year, thus weakening its influence over Cambodia. Given the short and incompatible railway links between Vietnam and Cambodia, Vietnam has proposed a new road project connecting Ho Chi Minh City and Phnom Penh in an attempt to increase bilateral connectivity and persuade Cambodia to abandon the canal project. However, none of these efforts can deter the resolve of the Cambodian people. According to the plan, the Decho Funan Canal will be completed and navigable by 2029. Once completed, the canal will significantly enhance the connectivity between the capital, Phnom Penh, and the coastal ports, with associated development projects benefiting nearly 2 million people in the surrounding areas. Vietnam cannot change the collaboration agreement between Cambodia and China. Once the Decho Funan Canal is operational, it will inevitably lead to a loss of significant trade volumes from Cambodia to the Mekong Delta in southern Vietnam. This will also likely slow down the development pace of the Mekong Delta, which is crucial to Vietnam's economy. Ports such as Kai Mep, which are specialized in transporting Cambodian goods, might even become obsolete. In 5 years, we will see if our analysis today proves accurate. See you next time.